It is time to get uplifted. I'm Allison Seymour. So we are just a couple of months away from summer. We're full spring right now. It all means dinner parties, cookouts, graduation parties, and yes, your house may be the gathering spot. So for many of us, hosting is how we show love, right? We invite people into our home, but let's be honest, it can also come with a whole lot of pressure. So that is why in this special episode of Get Uplifted, we are helping you master the art of hosting without draining your wallet or your energy. We are talking budget-friendly ideas, low-stress prep, simple touches that can make a big impact, and how to create a warm, welcoming vibe that your guests will remember. So let's get uplifted. While the heart of any gathering is the intention and the guest, a thoughtful tablescape can set the mood and spark conversation. Ultimately, the goal for any gathering is to make time and space for connection. So, Danielle Cowick is a DC-based event planner, designer, and the founder of Magnolia Bluebird and Ghost Host by Magnolia Bluebird. For more than 20 years, Danielle has channeled her creativity into awe-inspiring social events and corporate experimental functions for our area and the United States and even abroad as well. Ghost Host builds that same confidence for home host and guest alike. All right, for example, take a look at this beautiful bat mitzvah picnic that she designed. Soft lavender, natural textures, elegant details. It really hits that wow factor. And we're so pleased to have Danielle joining us now in studio to talk about how we can bring our entertaining goals and desires to life without overthinking it, though I know that's hard, and perhaps even using what we already own. Right. So I'm so happy to be with you. Your reputation precedes you, and I'm just so happy that you can make some time for us today.
Thank you for having me. It's absolutely a pleasure.
Okay, so you have in front of us set a tablescape. So first, what is a tablescape, and what went into this beautiful one?
A lot went into this, and thank you for that beautiful introduction.
Absolutely.
So through Ghost Host, I've been planning events for 20 years at Magnolia Bluebird. Through Ghost Host, my goal is really to empower home entertainers to pull the things out of the boxes, out of the attic, out of the basement that we've inherited, collected, so on and so forth, and actually use them to make them feel modern and ours. And so what we have here, my textiles today, the linens, the napkins were designed by an incredible textile designer, Jill Seal, and she learned the art of marbling in Florence. And I have a connection through Florence with my mother, and so I wanted to inspire the table through that, hence the beautiful linens. And then what is a tablescape? I mean, really it's anything. I think we overdo it. If I'm being honest, I think we put too much pressure on ourselves to pull everything out at once.
Right.
But here we have some mid-century modern, I have some antique, I have some modern pieces.
So, you know, and that's the thing. Can we brag a little bit on the pieces? Is it out yet? Can we talk about it?
We can talk about it.
Okay, all right. Because what was so eye-catching for me, I don't know, I just love more like a traditional sort of feel. And this right here, I don't even want to touch it because it's beautiful. It's acrylic, right? And this is your design.
It is my design.
Right,
I created. We can
could
take this apart. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But listen, I always tell people nothing is too precious. Use it, and everybody's afraid to break it.
Right.
But I got to tell you, the story is worth the china.
Okay, I love that.
So what I've created is this modern acrylic and rattan charge or a placemat, however you want to use this, and it's a nice oversized, so you can use it with the linen. I have a really beautiful table, so sometimes I hate covering it up, but I still want to protect it.
Yeah.
So I've created these, and selfishly, I didn't see it on the market, so I made one.
Oh my goodness, okay, and soon we can maybe have some of this for our own home. Alrighty. Yeah. So when it comes to doing this, what I'm noticing is that you said you have a little bit of this, antique, a little bit of that. What is there one rule that you should follow? Like I know with trying to mix patterns, you need to get that color that goes through and it brings everything together. So what's the rule here?
So I say that table design follows interior design. And I also believe, I'm a maximalist, no one will ever call me a minimalist, as you can tell here. But I really find what your common vein is. So I started with this beautiful linen. Obviously we have a ton of colors in here. Then I pulled in the green and the rattan, so it pulls from there. This is a mid-century collection, but I pulled that rust color as well. And then I just fell in love with these beautiful antique soup plates. And we layered those in. I think you'll see a lot of folks layer and layer and layer. If it doesn't serve a function, if it doesn't serve a purpose, maybe rein it back a little bit.
Right.
But I like a 2-3 place setting. And then with the stemware, again, bringing that modern touch into our vintage, you can't tell that this was made in 1920, right? And the colors are so beautifully saturated. And then I pulled in this hand-blown glass. This is also a touch of Florence to pull in here. And then I'm a sucker for tortoise shell.
Girl, I noticed your tortoise. Now I want you to know that Danielle has a tortoise. There's the bracelet, the shoe that you cannot see is a gorgeous pump. And so I'm not surprised that you like the tortoise. It's beautiful too.
I'm a tortoise girl, and I have to tell you, so when we're talking about simple things that you can do at home, I am not an over designer when it comes to floral. I'm not a floral designer, and I don't think we all need to proclaim that we're all these things. So I love a potted orchid.
Okay.
We're pulling in, again, gorgeous texture, gorgeous colors. These whites are, again, pulling in here, some candlesticks. But I honestly just take a little bit of reindeer moss or peat moss, and you can get this on any big box store or local garden shops. But I will put this into a vessel like that I've either inherited or loved. Just top this right on top. And look, now you've got a finished arrangement.
Gorgeous.
Nobody knows that you ran into TJ's and picked up this orchid 20 minutes ago. Right? And they do have a gorgeous selection. I also, a lot of times you'll get these orchids and they'll have, you know, the wires.
Clip. That's right.
Or the clip, yes.
Right.
For my millennial babies.
Yeah.
But I will again take that wire, wrap a little moss around it, fully elevated look in a matter of 10 minutes.
Right.
Wipe down your leaves, leave the blooms alone, and you're set.
And that's it. Okay, so in the time that we have left, if you're hosting a summertime graduation party, all the things, what is maybe one thing or two things that we can do to make a wow place setting or tablescape or room when you walk into it? What's something that you might want to do just to elevate it?
I love a high-low moment. What I mean by that is don't be afraid to use disposables.
Okay.
A lot of folks think, well, it's disposable, it's not good enough. It's 100% good enough, and there are so many vendors now with that elevated disposable look. I also like a renewable piece, so that way we're, not putting everything in the landfill.
Right.
So I would say don't be afraid to mix and match. Use your good china and use your good candlesticks or vessels with some paper plates if that's easier for you.
Okay.
But don't not host because it feels like a heavy lift.
Right. I'm gonna tell you something. I have flatware that I got for my wedding 26 years ago. I've never used them. I know. So you've inspired me.
That's the goal. The challenge. I challenge everyone to just open your door, host. Whatever it may be. I tell people all the time, listen, pizza on a paper plate.
Right.
Make room for connection and space for people.
Okay, so how do we book if we need some help? How do we book with Ghost Host, which is a brilliant idea, by the way?
Thank you so much. So you can find us online, Ghost Host by MB or through Magnolia Bluebird. Of course, we have a beautiful Instagram presence where you can see lots of tips and tricks.
Okay.
I create a magazine twice a year. It's currently free. It's a digital magazine called The Host Edit, and we teach people all of this.
Okay. And we subscribe and we
you just click right there on the Instagram and you're immediately subscribed.
This is Danielle Cowick with Magnolia Bluebird. You're wonderful. Having your decor locked down, that's really just half the battle, right? Here comes the food, and for a lot of us, that's where the pressure really sets in. You want to wow your guests when they walk through the door with something delicious, but you don't want to take it so far that you're just stressed out and you can't have a good time. You're missing the fun of your own party, right? So how do you strike up that balance? To help us do just that, we are welcoming back a familiar face to Get Uplifted. It is Jaisel Asigurado is with us today. She is the owner of DC's Cookbook Courtyard, a community club made up of 5,000 people. That was at last count. We're going to make sure that count is still correct. It hosts monthly potlucks of up to 100 people. Each month, members cook a dish from a selected cookbook, tasting recipes, sharing meals, building community. This past March, the group cooked from a book by hosting icon. This is the queen right here, Martha Stewart. So Jaisel joins us now to share some tips for cooking confidently and hosting without that overwhelming feeling.
Yes.
It's good to see you again.
Nice
Happy
to see
spring.
you again.
So, you do these huge, basically, dinners. Let's just call it what it is for like 100 people. So we're trying to do this at our home. What's that one rule that we need to remember to have fun?
Well, first of all, you have to focus on yourself. When
Okay.
the host is stressed, everybody will feel it. So you have to prioritize yourself.
true.
Yes.
Yes,
So
okay.
as much as like people love to go, you know, for the to the event for the food, they are there to have fun as well. So always focus on yourself and don't be stressed.
So now, if I've never cooked like, I don't know, Thai food, should I try to cook a whole thing of Thai food for my
No.
guests? Okay,
No.
that's what I thought. So how do you
Yes.
choose what to serve, what recipe? And we mentioned also that maybe you do a potluck to start,
Yes.
even in your own home, but what would you suggest?
So I will mention our queen Aina, Barefoot Contessa. She always say, "This is not the time to experiment. This is the time for you to like
Okay.
stick to what you know."
Right.
Unless you also like, of course, like if you have time, like ahead of time for you to like practice, but stick to what you know. Keep it simple. Again, people are there to have fun, so like just keep it simple. That's it.
I love that she is your queen.
She is the queen.
Now, because when I watch her, I do think it just feels so relaxed. You just feel
Yes.
like, you know, she just happens to have a camera in her
Yes.
home. How is she inspiring, and what does the club take from who she is?
Yeah, and also honestly, one of the things I learned from her as well is like try to like delegate as much as you can. People love to be involved,
Right.
So like even like for like a small stuff like the ice, you know, or like the cheese or whatever it is, make people feel involved, and so like ask them to do stuff, bring stuff, and that would make your life easier as well.
So when you all started, were you nervous about that? What were you most nervous about? And looking back, what would you say? You know, I shouldn't even worried about it because it worked out.
So one of the things actually that I've learned like by like doing this for a long time now is when it comes to picking food for a potluck, for example, there's like three stuff in that. The first one is it's easy to transport. It's not the best time for you to like bring a soup or something like that because
Right.
especially if you're taking the train, it's not the
Yeah.
best. And also another one is like it's good for a room temp, you know, temperature, because you might not have like a stove or like an oven for you to reheat stuff. So like pies would be like a good one, you know, like sandwiches might be like a good one. But also like another thing that I love doing when it comes to potluck is like making sure it's like easy to share. So like meatballs would be good, you know,
right.
something that's like something that like they can pick. And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So if we're having something at our home, what's the prep work like? You know, the biggest meal I probably cook is Thanksgiving, and we start like maybe a day ahead for some of the dishes. So is there a rule there as far as how far in advance maybe you should start so you don't feel all stressed out?
I would say 2 weeks at least.
So that's planning your menus.
Yes.
And, okay.
2 weeks, you already have your final menu, and then you order as much as you can. So, for example, if you need like paper plates, if you need napkins, paper towels, all of that stuff, try to order it on the second, like the 2 weeks before the event, and then the week off. That's when you do your groceries, and then you do prep, because like you want to do as little as possible
Right.
during the event.
And you know what? They've been Thanksgivings when I've waited and that thing wasn't at the store.
Yes.
So I like what you said. Do it a week out. Okay. So for those of us who want to get involved with your club or come out and see it, give us all those deets again.
Yes, we are Cookbook Club. We do a lot of like monthly events here in the DC area. We pick a cookbook every month, and then people will bring their dishes. We partner with a lot of like local and like small businesses in the DC area, so it's gonna be so much fun. You get to meet a lot of people who also shares the same interests, and yeah, I'll see you there.
Okay. That's Giselle. Tell her that when you come out and if you saw it here,
Yes.
tell them we sent you. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yay!
When we come back, it's all about hostess fashion and empowerment. Strategist is here with stylish looks that help get you ready to greet your guest, work the room, and still look fabulous. We'll be right back.
Period.
Period. Welcome back. So we've talked about the table, we've talked about the vibe, but now let's talk about you, because after all that planning, the prepping, the cleaning, the coordinating, the last thing you want is a full-blown fashion panic. We get it. It can be challenging to find an outfit on theme while still giving you the space to do all your hosting activities. So that's why we brought in confidence curator and empowerment strategist Rosie Faulkner. She's a friend of ours here on Get Uplifted, and she has put together host approved looks that is going to help you effortlessly look cool and won't break your heart if somebody knocks over a glass of wine. You'll be like, oh, it's okay. No problem. Let's get into it now, Rosie. It's always good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so is there a rule? Should you match the vibe of what you're doing, or what would you say as a style person as far as how the host should dress?
If you have a theme, then of course go with that. But if you don't, you want to make sure that you look cute, right? This is your event, right? So you gotta look the part.
Right.
So my best advice would be just to wear things that, you know, if a glass of wine, like you said in intro, if that spills on you, or some spaghetti sauce or whatever spills on you, it's not that noticeable. But you as the host, you have to come with it.
Right, you really do. When you open the door, oh, hello, are you here?
Yes.
What? So is this the time though? Because you talk about like stepping out of the comfort zone a little bit. Is this the time to do that, or what's the golden rule as far as what you're going to feel confident and comfortable in at the same time?
I think you should definitely be comfortable, right? It just depends on whatever your comfort zone is. If you can walk around in heels, I like to do so, but then I may switch to some flats. If you don't want anything too form-fitted, it's up to your preference, right? Whatever you can move around and be, you know, flattering and serve your guests and not have to worry about, you know, pulling anything, anything that, you know, could snag. Yes, like, bracelets or anything. So you don't want to have any of those things. So you want to kind of like test it out, I would say, about 2 to 3 weeks.
I was going to say, when should we start working on our outfit?
I would say 2 to 3 weeks, because if you are not like me, I have a closet full of clothes.
Right.
But if you have to go searching for something, anytime you go searching for something, guess what? You're not going to find something you like, right?
Absolutely right.
So you have to start early, so just in case you have to go to different stores or whatever to find whatever you need, you'll have time to do that.
I love that advice.
Yes, and then lay it out the night before and actually do a dress fitting. Like I said, if you have on a bracelet or a ring that's snagging something, you don't want that. So do a trial run to see if you can scoot around, do everything you need to do before, you know, open the door, welcome, and how you look.
I learned that I just had to host an event, and I was like, let me just buy this from Amazon or wherever, and you know it wasn't fitting right. Anyway, so let's show some video. Rosie brought something, and then also the pieces are here too. So as we roll that, what did you bring with us, and how does this start here when we take a look at it?
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
So now we have, the theme was chic, right? I did hear that right. So with the chic, with this, I love it because you have like the cutouts right here, your back is out a little bit, so you're showing a little sexy.
Yeah, look at these.
So yes, and then the buttons. So I really like this because this is actually making a statement. As you can see here, you have, you know, cut out, you're showing a little leg. So you're able to be the star of your event with this dress. So I really love this.
I love it too. Okay, moving on. I love this print piece here, kind of giving African vibes, Caribbean vibes.
Yes, so this is actually 2 pieces. And with this, so they have, this is kind of like, you would think it's a dress, but it's actually pants.
Look at that.
And so you have this nice bold print that you can, if you get too hot, you can, you know, have it with the straps here, or if you have, you know, this covering, you can take it off and get a little breeze, you know, because sometimes you get a little hot running around. So you have that option just to, you know, have this one piece number or put it on with, you know, the cover up. So I love this.
And then take off the cover up and be like, pa-dow.
There you go.
All right, I love this red right here in that wide leg pant.
Yes. Now, would you think that this is a bathing suit?
Okay, that's really cute. So it's like a bodysuit.
Yes, it's actually a bathing suit.
Got it. Okay.
So you can have multi-uses of your pieces. You can not just have it to swim with, you can actually wear it out. So I like that. And then you have the wide-legged pants that is comfortable, nothing is sticking on you, and you can have a good time moving around and, you know, getting yourself together.
And then you paired it with that little white blazer that is so cute.
Correct, yes. So you can come out with the blazer and then, you know, definitely take everything off once you get a little hot or whatever. So this is the thing.
All right, now, Rosie, how do people get in touch with you?
Well, I am actually on YouTube, so if you want to follow me for more style advice, I definitely help women over 40 who are trying to accept their bodies after weight gain. So if that is in your vicinity and you're going through perimenopause, knock on my door. I'll get you right.
This is Rosie Faulkner, friend of the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we know you still probably have a whole lot of questions about hosting. So we want to end this episode in a more Q&A type style with a hosting expert. So of course you have heard of Carla Shellis. She has hosted dozens of dinner parties and is helping over 300,000 people host memorable dinner parties too by sharing etiquette tips on social media. And this includes when to serve your guest food and how to ask your guest to please leave. Carla joins us now to answer those two questions delicately, as well as some of the most popular hostess questions that she gets. Thank you, Carla, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor to be with you this morning.
Oh, I'm so happy. I feel the same way. So let's start with that second one, especially. You know, the party is over, you have exhausted yourself, and it's time for people to leave. What's the best delicate way to let folks know, the event is over?
Well, one of my most popular ones is turn the music off.
Okay.
So turn that music off, start turning off lamps and lights. And then we do have sometimes those ones that just don't get that hint. And so we'll say, hey, it's been such a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for joining us and being here with us. I'm really honored that you came and hung out with us tonight, but we're going to go ahead and start wrapping things up. And that typically, by the time we say that, people are already kind of taking their way out the door. But that kind of puts a little boundary in while remaining super gracious and kind.
And that first question was, when your guests have arrived, when do you start serving food? And what's a great way, to maybe make it feel even more elegant by letting your guests know it's time to eat or sit down to eat?
Yeah, so we typically wait 20 to 30 minutes. I always like to give a space for people to arrive, to talk. I'll typically have a little bite sitting out, maybe a couple of beverages. And I just like to kind of get that warmth going by welcoming people and talking and having little conversations. And then I'll just simply make an announcement. Hey guys, everybody, it's time to eat. Let's get started. So if it's a buffet, and then I'll instruct people on where to start and how to flow through. But if it's a seated meal, I'll say, if everybody can just join me at the table and take your place, we're going to get started with some eating right now. And so I'll typically bless the food. And then that's also like another way to go ahead and get everybody started. And it always works beautifully.
So tell us, let's back up. Why did you start posting these videos? Are you surprised by the reaction also from some of the content that you post?
I am. I have worked for the last decade, first part of my life, I owned restaurants. My husband and I own a roofing company. We've built that for 35 years, but I had 5 restaurants that I opened and sold. And then I worked in the space of restoring girls rescued out of sex trafficking for 10 years. And once we finished that, that got retired, and I retired that whole organization. I wanted just to start doing things that I love, things that were me, and just share it with people, just share the things that I love with the people I love. And that's a community that we've built. And so it has been my heartbeat my entire life, is etiquette and hosting and home and family and tradition. And so I just thought, I'm just going to share with people the things that I do on an everyday basis. And you know what? For 100%, it has shocked me. In just under 2 years, we're at 2.5 million followers across all of our 3 outlets.
Wow.
And so, it's growing fast every single day. And so it's just the joy of my life to be living in this space when I can just be sharing these things that all of us girls just love.
Yes.
We love to nurture our homes, and we love etiquette and hosting and all of those things. So I'm having the time of my life.
I have so many questions, but for those who are not familiar with who you are on social media, tell us, what kinds of videos do you post? Because we want everybody to just, make sure that they're following you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have three different kind of stands that we stand on. So one is going to be etiquette. So that's everyday etiquette. I'm not your etiquette expert that is going to be in a suit and high heels and teaching. That's another level of etiquette that I totally admire and love, the people who deliver that. But I'm more everyday etiquette. My biggest thing is etiquette is a tool, and it's like a silent language. I always say, if you know, you know. And so I like to teach everyday etiquette. It's a tool that you keep in your back pocket, and you just pull it out when you need it. But I want everyone to know what to do when they need to know what to do. And then the other part of that is we teach hosting and home and family and tradition. I truly believe that as women, that we are responsible for the nurturing of the home and the family. And I want to equip women with how to do that without feeling the pressure of it and the weight of it. You know, we have jobs, we have kids, we have schedules, and then we have to throw on top of that being the hostess with the mostest. But I'm teaching women how to relieve that stress and pain and how to think about it different. And then the third prong of what we do is what we call emotional etiquette. And now that comes out of my 10 years of working with trauma victims. And so I'm able to take those skills that I have learned and taught and raised up these girls in, and now teach it as the underbelly to all of us who feel like just under the surface, we have some trauma we haven't dealt with, or we have that hurt or that pain or that rejection. And so I kind of thread that through everything I do, because I don't just want to teach how to have a beautiful home and a beautiful family, but I want to teach women how to be set free, how to actually feel that beautiful part of life and not just have to put it on. I want hosting to be more about presence than perfection. And so that's really what we are all about over here on our outlet.
This is, you know what? Wow, is all I can say. Just weaving all of your different, really careers or interests together, it just makes sense that you would invite all of us into your home with,
Yes.
as you do, with this warm and welcoming spirit here. So let me ask you this question before I let you go. For those of us who really want to host something, but I know personally for me, I have 2 dogs. One is 14, and I'm like, am I nose blind? What's going on in my house right now? So how do you even start if you really want to invite friends and family into your home, but you're just not sure where to even begin to make sure that when people come in and they look around, that, you know, that they have a pleasant experience? How do you even start this?
You know, that's so interesting that you're asking me this. Last night, I host what I call The Table, and it's a Zoom, it's an intimate Zoom group that we get together every Tuesday. It's a paid subscription, but I really dig into these questions and we talked about this last night on our thing. And so I want to just say that, first of all, hosting doesn't have to be heavy duty. I always tell women who are really afraid of cooking, if you mess up what you make, just order a pizza, throw it in the trash and order a pizza. It is not so much about what you make. It's the actual presence and the intention behind it. And so if you want to start hosting, just pull a couple of girls together. If it feels like you're on a budget, you make the main meal and then ask everybody to bring a side dish. Put a candle on. Just make sure that that table is clean, and it doesn't have to be a perfectly 5-star rated table. You can just add, just make order around it, right? Just create a small little intention, because little intentions actually take you a long way. And so if you think about it, and I always say, it's busyness, it's life, it's jobs, it's kids, it's the whole life that we are revolving around that keeps us from doing the things in life that are meaningful. And so a lot of times we get caught up in the offenses of, well, nobody invites me and I don't ever get invited. But if we let that go and take it upon ourselves to create the memories in the life that we want to live, by taking that by the just kind of taking life by the horns, we say, and actually doing that and creating that moment. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Just say, hey, to a couple of your friends, let's get together and have an appetizer and some desserts, or let's get together and have a cup of coffee and a slice of cake, and just create make conversation starters. Create a presence when they walk in the door. It really, ladies, it's about our hearts. It's about how we welcome people. It's less about how it looks and more about how we make people feel, because they will never, ever forget that.
That's
and
right.
We get to experience life to the fullest.
Carla Shellis, you are wonderful. How do people connect with you online?
Just Carla Shellis, just CarlaShellis. If you go follow me on all the outlets, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I am giving we post 5 days a week. I have I talk about deeper things on my stories. We have Carla's Cozy Corner Club, which you can join at carlashellis.com. And that's just extra content coming over. I have the Freedom Formula as well, which is the course I built to get us set free from that past rejection and trauma. It's a beautiful course that it's fun, interactive. And then I have The Table, which is a place you can connect with me on a deeper level. And those are, we just want to connect with women. And you know what? I just want to get there. I want to be their best friend, just right there on their side, to give them that daily encouragement and all those great ideas.
Okay, well, Bestie, nice to talk to you. And
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us on Get Uplifted. And if you want more, please watch my Get Uplifted stream right here on WUSA 9 Plus. And you can get your daily dose of Get Uplifted on WUSA 9 mornings. Stay uplifted.